Welcome to the Pit Crew. I'm Camille, your attending, and I have my residents with me.
I'm Mal.
And I'm Robert.
This week's patient presents with a case of crash out. A real bad one.
That feels accurate.
Oh, 100%. This is a specially recorded episode today because two of us are in the same room together.
Mm-hmm.
We sure are.
I actually have my resident with me.
Yes.
I'm not there. I'm over here.
You and Joyzy.
So now Camille and Robert have to hang out in person because I have hung out with both of them in real life.
That is our disclaimer, is that if I start stuttering, it's because there's an echo of my voice in my ear. And also, if Mal and I are talking over each other, we can't cut it in a finesse way. So, echo, we're in my living
Robert's
room.
going to have a great time editing this one, TLDR.
100%. I'll only technically have two audios to edit. It'll be a lot easier, actually.
Mm-hmm. Except, when I start screaming while she's talking, you can't cut me out. That happens every week, listener.
Hey, Camille, what are you renaming this episode?
We're covering 3 p.m., and we are rebranding it as I Wish You Many, Many Utahs in Your Life. I think it's kind of just like a cute thing to focus on because there's a lot of hard shit happening. And this episode feels a little treat 'em, you need 'em.
Yeah. And we all deserve a lot of Utahs.
Yeah, we do.
We all deserve a lot of Utahs.
I love that vibe because I love romance novels. So I love that, the description was great.
And we've been watching a lot of Bridgerton today.
Yes. Actually, I think Noah Wiley wrote this episode. He's the one that wrote the whole Utah thing. Isn't that
Noah Wiley, please tell us more about your Utahs of your life. We're curious.
So, yeah.
All right, so to begin the hard things of this episode, we open on someone coming in to clean this room that Amber, who had drowned, just died in. So I really enjoy getting to see the way that this affects not only the doctors and nurses, but also everyone in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the little ways that they pointed out that the cleaning staff and custodial people, they feel that weight of it too. We have her picking up the bow from the ground. Esme picking up the bow. Earlier in the season, we have a custodial person who places her hands over her heart when, oh my God, what's his name? Mr. Milton. Mr. Milton passes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do a great job of just highlighting those little emotional tidbits for everyone.
You know who doesn't do a particularly great job? Robby, when he gathers everyone and he's like, "Hey, so it's really tough losing the kids in this line of work. It's really tough, but the way to get through it is by burying those feelings deep fucking down. Bury them, and then they're called away for." What is it? It's an MDMA patient who's coming in. MDMA overdose?
Yeah, a Pit Fest overdose. Well, punches are being thrown in chairs. But we we get to see everybody and how they're coping after Amber's death. We see Langdon calling home to talk to his kid.
That's a very sweet moment.
And as much as he's an asshole, you get to see him being a dad for the first time and the only time. And just how much his kids mean to him. And how much he's able to just take everything he's feeling and put it to the side to give his son the attention he needs. There's also, it seems tension between Langdon and his wife because
of the dog.
The dog. And it's,
among other things, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it almost seems like she's hesitating to put their child on the phone, which is interesting. We then get to see Mel using her, I'm hoping it's the Calm app. Sponsor us. I love the Calm app. You can ask Mal. I listen to cricket sounds all night long.
You do.
Every night while I sleep from the Calm app.
The first night, I didn't know that was going to happen. The first night it came out, I was like, are there crickets in here? And I was like, oh yeah, Camille's just got on a nighttime cricket sounds.
It's very soothing. So we have Mel listening to the ocean waves with her noise cancellation on. We see Collins talking with Dana, saying, fuck that fucking stroller.
Mm-hmm. I'm very glad she has someone to talk to about this. I think that is important. Because if she was going through this completely and totally alone, I think it would be impossible.
I'm glad that she has someone to cry to. So we have Robby telling the story about the first kid he lost. And he was working in New Orleans, and it was a gun accident. They had been playing with their father's gun, and he'd accidentally been shot by his brother and was worried he was going to get in trouble until he died, up until the moment he died. And I Googled it. On average, there are 110 accidental gun deaths a year of children under the age of 14 in the US.
Yeah. I mean, I think every medical show has that happen. Like, I feel like most of the medical shows I watch through clips on TikTok, but I'm like, I feel like I've seen that clip in 37 different fonts from 37 different shows. Like, I think it's a very common problem. Like, children should never be dying because of gun violence. And yet, in this country, way too many do.
Mm-hmm. So Robby is talking to everyone, and he's kind of losing his shit until he suddenly snaps out of it because they've got to go. There are punches being thrown in chairs. Kiara, we can tell she's picking up on what's going on with Robby, and she desperately wants to talk to him.
Yeah, Robby is not well.
We get these really brief intros to our characters coming in. So we have patients in chairs. We've got an incoming overdose from PITT Fest, etc. We get to see Dana in chairs, putting everyone in their place.
Being brilliant and bringing peace.
This ain't Philly!
This ain't Philly.
Which is really funny. This ain't Philly. This is a hospital, for Christ's sakes. The reason that they're going out is because, like, the confrontation in chairs is that one lady is there with her child and the child is coughing, and another lady is there for, do we ever find out why?
I don't know why she's there. That's a great point.
No, but her daughter's wearing like a hockey jersey.
Maybe a hockey-related injury then. Woman with child, the child is coughing, so other woman was like, hello, hi, yes, I would like to offer a mask so that your coughing child doesn't infect all of us. And that turned into this, how do you say, bad time.
Kerfuffle?
Altercation?
A kerfuffle. Altercation. Where we literally get
Donnybrook?
a punch.
Isn't that what he calls it, with the guy with the nail in the chest?
Do we get names for the two lady, or do we not have names for them?
I did not write them down.
I don't. I can't think what their names might be.
Do we get... Well, rip feminism. Name a woman, I can't even name two.
Dana Collins.
So the altercation escalates to a point where one woman punches the other. I need names. I feel uncomfortable saying woman.
Yeah.
At the time.
You could say, like, the redhead and then the one with the broken tooth.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxer.
The anti-vaxxer punches the sensible person in the mouth and breaks her tooth off in her hand, which is yikes. A fight bite, if you will.
I did want to just explain for people who aren't in the US, because I'm not sure how familiar they are. She calls her a Fauci zombie. Fauci was the chief medical advisor to the president of the United States during the COVID pandemic, early on at least.
And conservatives hate that man with a passion. And I'm like, why? He literally did nothing but try to stop this virus from spreading. Like,
he told you to wear a mask. Oh no. And stay home, like, oh, woohoo. But anyway, that's why she calls her a Fauci zombie. She's saying basically you have no original thought. You're just parroting what this man is telling you, kind of a thing.
Because sensible people trust what medical experts say, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Why go to the hospital if you're not going to take the advice of the medical staff or accept their treatment?
Great question.
So also Dana says jack off, but this is Pittsburgh, and so I know she should have said jag off. That they say jag off, they don't say jack off.
Sure, yeah,
so,
okay.
There you go.
News to me.
There's a slip up for you, Robert.
They take the two women that just got into a fight back.
The puncher and the punchy.
The puncher and the punchy. Langdon takes the one who's got the tooth in her hand, and then our good friend, not our good friend, but our enemy, Doug Driscoll, has a problem with this.
Our contemptuous bestie.
And he's like, how am I supposed to get seen if people keep cutting the line? And he's told that there is no line. They take patients by severity of need. And I love that he points out that, like, oh, okay, if I want to be seen, I just have to start a fight. Because it does seem that way.
I mean, the cops will find you, Doug.
Yeah. And then we will see his attempt at starting a fight later. But more on that later.
I like the perspective of we don't see, like, it's not a line.
Yeah.
It's not like you're in line waiting. I mean, I think anybody who's been to the ER at a busy time understands the frustration of being like, I should be next, and then an ambulance
Right.
shows up. Like, okay, but like you have a broken foot and that person's been shot. So,
Yeah.
sorry, that's not cutting the line. They might die.
Right.
So,
And I mean, I think it's very hard to, like, you're taught your whole life, like, this is, like, things are fair. Things one at a time, like, we wait our turn, and, like, if you wait, then, you know, it'll be your turn. But that's not how the ER works.
right. It's triage.
Like, in life, there are different situations in which, like, this man just lacks so much perspective and maturity. And I'm like, you're a grown man walking around without the ability to empathize with other people and understand situations. Like, what the hell, man? Anyway.
Yeah. And we get to see Mateo. But I want to say, for anyone who doesn't know this, I don't think he will be with us in season 2. I think that his time at the pit is probably done. It's not been confirmed. Yeah, he is going to be starring in a romance adaptation for the Off-Campus series, which I tried. I hated it.
Really?
I returned the first book. I was like, I can't. I fell asleep listening to it. Words. I fell asleep listening to it.
Oh, and you love romance, so that's
I love
concerning.
romance.
Robert,
But maybe
cut
this next part.
But
it was like she was sexually assaulted at a party, so now she's gonna heal by having sex with this hot guy. And it was like, oh, that's not the one he's starring in. But I was like, yeah, no.
Well, maybe if it's got him in it, it will be worth watching somehow.
My fingers, toes, and eyes are crossed.
Yeah.
So, Mateo.
Can't he do both? Both?
His contract. Yeah. Someone pointed that on.
We'll miss his hot little face.
Yeah.
And his general Utah vibes.
And his hair.
His hair. Oh. I'm jealous of that hair.
Yeah. So we go into, taking care of these two ladies. Mel is so overwhelmed by the yelling. Like, she's flinching away from everyone.
Yeah. Because they continue to yell at each other, like, from separate rooms.
What sends me is there's too much almond milk in your soy lattes. She goes, that doesn't even make any sense.
Hey, most oat milks and soy milks are fortified with calcium, and they technically have more calcium than cow's milk. The more you know.
I still like cow's milk best.
I also like cow's milk. I feel like a fake gay every time I'm like, my iced coffee with regular milk, because I'm not a baby who can't handle dairy.
My thing is, and like, I understand like it's a different kind of milk and it's a tad more expensive at the grocery store. It's not my fault I can't properly digest lactose. I'm not asking you to make my coffee with oat milk because I'm some bougie bitch. I'm asking because I will shit myself if I drink cow's milk. Like, I want an exemption for buying coffee where instead of adding the 80-cent surcharge, I have to just say out loud, if you give me cow's milk, I will shit.
What are you, some kind of liberal drinking those alternative milks?
Skill issue.
I do need alternative milks. My stomach can't properly process lactose.
You lack those skills.
Anyway, so we're cleaning out the lady with the tooth in her knuckle. We're asserting risk for infection because, hey, human mouths are very filthy.
Some more than others.
I love that he makes the joke and then immediately looks up at Mel. Just very quickly is like, haha. He's trying to like lighten the mood for her because he can tell she's struggling. And I love the way that he's picking up on how overwhelmed she is. And the scene just made me kind of wonder when I watched it for the first time, like whether his kids or one of his kids is neurodivergent. And so like maybe he's learned to cope with that a bit at home and like try his best to dial back the external stimuli.
It could also be that he's spent so much time with Mel at this point that he's starting to pick up on things. And also we've already had the whole interaction with her and Terrence. Is that his name? So he also might be looking a little more for like neurodivergence after that. I don't know. But yeah, I do appreciate him kind of clocking that she's not doing so hot.
Of course, we have Langdon's iconic dunk on this woman about masks.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We here believe that masks are used to like lessen the spread of disease. Would you like masks with? Would you like your surgery with or without masks? And she has to like tentatively look down. She's like, with masks, please. I thought so.
Personally, I would like for all men to wear masks so that I don't have to hear.
Personally, I would like my surgery to be done by a bunch of masks, aka MASCS.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Take me a second. You like masks? Well, my surgery was done by them.
Yep.
Give me a bunch of mask lesbians in there. I know they'd take good care of me. They would give me good surgery, I'm sure. I trust masked lesbians with my life.
They could do a really great breast reduction, I'm sure. It would take very good pride. So we have our overdose. She's arrived. She is way overheated. She's 107.3 degrees Fahrenheit, which is
41.83 degrees Celsius.
Thank you. Very, 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 very,
very warm.
So basically, they are preparing an ice bath. Just like shove her on in there. You know, they're prepping ice and cold water, and that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm a huge fan of the way that Langdon has to bring up his ice bath PR. Like, he's like, what is it? Like, my record is like 14 minutes or something like that. Like, no one asked, King.
Wait, I didn't even pick up on that. I'm not an ice bath person because every time, even if I get on like a shower that's too cold, my whole chest gets super, super tight, and then I start to panic. Maybe it's a breathing thing, and I should do ice baths for that reason. Someone told me it helps with anxiety.
Huh.
Yeah, because you have to learn to breathe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done, other than jumping into like cold water, which is not an ice bath. Like I've never been in water with ice in it, and that sounds like the worst.
Dana is still trying to play keep away with Piper and Laura, her boss. So she's offering her a dry sandwich.
Yeah, because Laura's like, how long does a CT take? Like, my assistant is somewhere. And so Dana offers her like what, LaCroix from the secret stash, and also a dry sandwich.
Obsessed. Yeah.
Like, is that just a sandwich with no like mayonnaise on it?
I don't know.
Or
Robert, we were watching this together. Did I say Whoppers?
I don't know.
Robert, we were watching this together to prep, and when she said a dry sandwich, I paused and I was like, as opposed to what? Like a French dip? No one thinks you're offering out French dips in the hospital.
I want a moist sandwich.
Yeah. It may have just been like a disclaimer, like would you like a really dry sandwich? Like, hey, this sandwich isn't going to be very good, but like you can have it if you want it. I don't know what she's after.
Would you like a dry egg salad sandwich? Crunch,
yeah,
crunch.
if your egg salad sandwich is dry, we have a problem, because that should be a moist sandwich.
So McKay is talking to Piper, and she's explaining the street team, that she's on the street team. They take medical care to underserved communities. And she's just kind of explaining that to give her context of like how she's understanding where she's coming from. And I noticed for the first time ever, she goes to give all these resources to Piper, and she gives her a pen. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, a pen. And she's talking about how there's like resources and stuff on it. And I'm like, well, they're going to see that. But then I realized watching it this time, I guess I haven't paid enough attention, but like the information is on the inside of the pen. Yeah. She unscrews the pen and pulls it apart to show her the information.
Yeah, it's like on the ink part.
Yes. Yeah. Which is so cool and a great idea.
And pens like that and like little knickknacks like that exist already, like all around the world, all around the US at least, where it's like, hey, here's a very innocuous snow globe. But if you look under if you look under the snow globe, there it is. Resources to contact.
I hope that Piper comes back next season.
Yeah. I would like to see her again, but I also think there is, I don't know, maybe not benefit, but like it is interesting to see this person who like very clearly, as of right now, is not interested in help. Because
I think she kind of is. I think she's just scared.
Yeah, okay. Well, at this point, she is not prepared to accept help, whether or not she wants to. But, because I don't know, I feel like if every single one of these stories like ends perfectly happy and like everybody leaves the ER with what they need, like that's not real life. So I appreciate the realism in this, like showing
Silas Dunn leaves in a body bag. Piper walks out, a free woman.
Yeah. Exactly.
So one thing about Langdon and Santos now, as they're interacting after this very stressful moment, and Robby is there, and Langdon is acting like a med school rival or something.
Yeah.
He is misbehaving wildly.
Like the way that he is like quizzing her and like very clearly upset when she's getting the right answers. It's like, dude, your job in this situation is to be her teacher, not like, again, I understand that not every teacher is for every person and not every teacher is going to get along with every single student. And that's fine. However, this behavior rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree. It's very poor behavior. And also, like, he gives her a hard time when she gets the answer wrong. And when she gets it right, he doesn't acknowledge that she's done something right. It's so uncomfortable to watch.
Right.
It's like, personally, I don't think this is like his true personality. There are people who act like this is like the real Langdon coming out. And I'm just like, no, I think he's having a bad moment and like somehow regressing.
Well, I also wonder, are meds wearing off or something for him, causing him to act this way? Because he was a lot more easygoing at like the start of the shift. So I'm like, I don't know, are the withdrawal symptoms starting to pop back up? And he's, I don't know, there's lots of reasons why he could be not at his best.
Bro, like, calm down. She's gonna get you. She's gonna figure you out.
Right.
Like, he doesn't think she's onto him yet, except now I'm like, you're on her so hard, she's gonna find a reason to be on you. So, like, this is so stupid of you to be awful to her. It's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah. I think there also might be a part of him that's trying to discredit her, particularly in front of Robby, because we see a lot in, I don't know if it's this episode or the next one, but he keeps watching her, like whenever she's interacting with Robby. And so I think he's worried that she has already said something or is going to say something, and he wants to make her seem not competent to Robby. And it's not going to work because she is competent. She makes some bad choices sometimes and acts like she's more competent than she is, but like she is, like she knows her stuff.
I think he shot himself in the foot because he didn't properly address the issues he was having with her early on. And I think if he had been more communicative, he could have, one, avoided this, and two, I mean, if he wants to make a case for her being incompetent, if he'd communicated better from the beginning, it would have seemed more believable.
Right.
I mean, like, communicated with Robby and the others, you know?
So then we have the Kraken has requested to see Whittaker, who last time he saw him, he peed on. So that's fun.
And Nurse Kim has got him all new scrubs, but she's like, maybe wait. Maybe you should wait before you put these on.
Yeah.
And she's flirting.
She is very much flirting.
I'm like, what is it about this frail Midwestern boy?
This starving Victorian orphan.
that like really gets her motor running, if you know what I mean.
Maybe it's the, like, I can fix him mentality. Like, I want to wrap him in a blanket and, like, give him a nice dry sandwich.
It's also really funny because, like, she then turns and see the rats behind Whittaker, I believe, and then she runs away. Whittaker turns around. This is foreshadowing for something that happens in this very episode, where he's like, yeah, I see you.
Your days are numbered, buddy.
And he's trying to be intimidating to a fucking rat. And I'm like, Whittaker, what are we doing, buddy?
And he is just a sad, wet rat himself, so he cannot even intimidate the rats.
He's the head rat.
The Rat King, one might even say.
Obviously, we're just foreshadowing some meat.
Yeah, some beef.
I also just wonder, like, why Whittaker is so mad at the rat. And I'm like, we've not seen any foreshadowing of beef until this moment. So is he just pissed because he was being flirted with and the rat ruined it? What? He's that pissed? He's like, I'm going to murder you.
No woman has ever looked at Whittaker before, and he's like, that was my one shot.
The only woman that's ever looked at him is his mother.
I honestly don't believe that. I'm like, there is a certain twinkish quality to him that I know the girls would be into.
Gen Alpha? It's Gen Alpha, right? The very young one right now?
Yes, yeah.
They're like the middle schoolers and all that?
Yeah,
okay.
Gen Alpha.
They do have this taste in men that I will never understand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get with it. I'm not trying to insult Whitaker. I'm so sorry. I'm just saying in general, like what I mean is if you watch the newer Mean Girls, Aaron Samuels looks like that.
Yeah, I mean he's Conrad from The Summer I Turned Pretty, the less cute of the two brothers, in my opinion.
Yes,
but
because
yeah.
I tried to watch the first episode of that show, and I was like, hold on, her two options are this one that I have already seen in something and don't find attractive, and then the other one is like a hardcore Trumpy in real life. But there's this kid, as I was watching like the first half of the first episode of that show, he leans so much into like physical big comedy, but he's not good at it. And I'm okay saying this because he's a Trumpy. So like there's nothing about
The Summer
him.
I Turned Pretty is not a good show. I've watched like a season and a half, but no one is watching that show because they're like, this is the peak of writing, or like you're watching it because it's like a car crash you can't look away from. Like it is dramatic. Every character is making the worst possible choice at every given time. And it's like, that's kind of what being a teenager is. And unfortunately, these teenagers, for some reason, are like dating two brothers.
I'll go read the books. Like, that's probably what I'll do because I do love a Jenny Han book.
Yeah, I think, like, as a book, it might read better than like, I don't hate the TV show. Like, I think the TV show is very entertaining, but I'm also like, this is not... Mm-hmm. You know, I haven't seen any of the new season. I stopped like halfway through season 2 and I never picked it back up.
We need to do a bonus episode of just like romance novels or like the books that we like.
So Teresa Saunders is back from therapy and still hasn't heard from David. And now she's just going to be kept around until David calls. To be fair, David is supposed to pick her up. So eventually he should be showing up, ?
Yes, but it's not like she has to be picked up. She's an adult. She can just leave. She doesn't have to have a ride.
Yeah. And he ran away on foot. So I would imagine that the car is still there.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I think it's weird. I'm like, Robby, if you think that you have to sit here with this woman and desperately try to get her son to come back, like, where is your hang up, bro? Clearly, you know something is very wrong. I don't get it. It makes me mad.
Yeah.
And then Robby is walking around and like guiding people and touching people and kind of doing stuff, and he's got gloves on. And then a patient comes in and he goes, right. And I'm like, change your gloves. Ew. I know they're not like sterile gloves, but still, you can tell the difference between the sterile gloves and the not ones because the sterile ones are white and the other ones are blue. Just like the casual gloves, you know?
Good to know.
Yeah. So
the more you know.
Robby's walking around. We get the guy who's been hit by a car and slid 10 feet.
Oof. With
his dog, Crosby.
I love Crosby. I would die for Crosby.
We would all die for Crosby.
I love, if you watch this dog is so focused on something in the background.
Someone is standing behind the camera with like a treat or something to like get this dog to...
He's just like locked in beyond the scene. I'm just like, ew, Robby touched the dog with his gloves on.
That is true, he did. He does the Crosby, you're a hero, and like grabs his paw, but yeah.
Yuck.
It's very important to get that patient satisfaction score.
And Crosby, very satisfied.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the woman that hit him was driving erratically. We find out she gave birth at the hospital the week before, so 10 days ago. So she comes in next. Now we go to the overdose again. And Robby is ordering Ativan, and Santos is pushing back against him for that. She's doing the same kind of a thing that she did with Langdon earlier, and it really bothers me. I'm like, what makes you the med queen? Because you did a quick stint at a pain clinic? Like, I don't understand why you think you're like a pharmacist now.
I don't know. What is Ativan? It's just painkiller?
I don't think it is. I think it's...
I don't know what Ativan is.
I also don't really know what Ativan is.
A lot of times they say medical stuff and I just kind of go, and it goes in one ear and out the other.
I Googled it. Ativan it's lorazepam. So she's like, oh my God, why is everyone at this hospital obsessed with lorazepam?
I mean, I think it's valid to question, but the way that she does it often seems very insubordinate.
It's just a bit of give and take. Why am I trying to say give and take? That's not it. Anyway.
Robby hurts himself lifting the car crash patient. He is physically showing signs of pain, and it continues through the rest of the episodes, which I loved as a little tiny detail.
Garcia says estás poniendo viejito, which means you're getting old, which is cute.
I wish that HBO were better about like subtitling other languages because she says he's getting old. And like that's a joke that's totally lost on you because there are no subtitles.
Big oof. I mean, what's worse, no subtitles or the subtitles saying she speaks Spanish?
I would prefer she speaks Spanish. I would prefer correct subtitling, but
100%.
I might prefer she speaks Spanish. Garcia speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
At least acknowledging that it's not just like a sound.
Yeah.
Even the sounds get subtitles.
Yeah, that is true.
We cut back to more interactions with Piper, and this time we get Dana involved, and Dana's offering her a pen, which, hey, if you've been paying attention, the pen, it has the information inside. And Piper's face, she has this look of like, oh, wait a minute, I know what that is.
Yeah. Piper has this, it's almost like a trepidatious kind of a look on her face. Like kind of hopeful, but also like, in a way, like she's not coming back from CT with a pen, you know? Why would she be getting pamphlets and pens in CT?
Yeah, good point.
So she has an opportunity now to take it. Dana has also brought her pamphlets on everything you need to know but never wanted to know, with no gross pictures about STIs. And Dana is there to be brilliant and bring peace.
She sure is.
Yeah.
Langdon's rapport with the car crash guy who had the dog is great. It is kind of funny how they're talking briefly about dogs. Like, wait, who's Crosby? Oh, he's my dog. I love how Langdon's like, oh, I have a 9-week-old golden doodle. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's a good dog. I have a terrier. Oh, it's a great dog. And it distracts Langdon so much to a bit where he doesn't really notice what he's doing. He accidentally, like, I guess, bumps into or, like, scratches an area that was sensitive. And the guy goes like, ow. And I'm like, oh, well, hello.
It's interesting that you see it that way because I see it differently. The way I interpreted it is that Langdon was like distracting him while he's kind of doing his little bit of his exam, and he kind of like tests movement of his leg, and that's when there's the soreness. And he's like, oh, sorry. And I think he's distracting him, but I also, yes, I think Langdon gets a little carried away with the conversation because he's very excited about it, and this is the only person he's interacted with at all who's also excited about dogs. As someone who's not a dog person, I can't relate though. I've never. But boy, oh boy, you start talking about cats with me and I can't stop. So, but yeah.
See, I love dogs, so I'd be talking about Crosby. Then we're back to our UTI patient from the car crash. Right. And she, what is it? They say she can't have a CT scan because she has a positive pregnancy
flag on
test?
The play.
Yeah.
Because there was
like that.
A positive pregnancy test. And so we find out, which I didn't. I mean, I guess I knew this in the back of my mind, but you can have a positive pregnancy test for like weeks after giving birth. Which, I mean, makes sense because your hormones don't just like suddenly go, done.
Right. No, that makes sense.
So, yeah, fun. So, and then we also learned that the patient was there this morning and was seen by McKay, and McKay diagnosed it as a UTI.
Treat him and eat him, you know?
Treat him and eat him, exactly. So, Robby's doing jazz hands to try to get Collins's attention, and don't look over here, and he's jazz hands and ha ha ha, don't look over there.
You need to have such a strong bond and relationship with someone to be like, dude, listen, do not look behind you, for them not to actually look behind you. Because I feel like it's such a thing of like, especially if you, I think even if you're really close with someone, that's still a good 50-50 shot of like, don't look behind me, look behind me. Ah, fucking rat! Which is essentially what happens to Collins.
Oh, I would absolutely look. Like, I don't care who it is. If you were like, hey, don't look behind you, I'm looking. I'm curious.
If you actually don't want me to look, you have to go about it a certain way. Because I think there are certain friends, if they were like, listen to me, look at me, do not look behind you.
I think it also depends. Yeah, it depends the energy that someone came into the situation with, and I don't think Robby came into it with the right energy.
If you're like fucking, jazz hands, like, hey, so I have something to talk to you about.
Like he was trying to be too lighthearted with it.
Don't look behind you, and then I love how she's like laughing about don't look behind me. What? And then she freaks out because rats.
Oh, rats! Oh my god. So yeah.
McKay and Kiara are game planning, trying to be like, okay, what is it that we're gonna do with Piper? Kiara rightfully, but also Kiara, do something, is like, there's only so much we can do legally. And she's like, I'll talk to her. I guess that's about as much as I can do. I'm like, yeah, sure.
But McKay is like, we could do this, we could do this. And Kiara's like, and then what? I'm like, why can't you think faster on your feet? I feel like improv must be in a situation like a hospital.
Yeah.
If you're going to be working in something like that, you have to be better at coming up with a story, quick on your feet, to be like, I need to mitigate this in this
We need to
way.
do this social work more.
I need to buy
Yeah.
myself more time.
I mean, I think we've kind of been shown that Kiara is dropping the ball in a lot of situations so far.
Yeah. And I don't think it gives a bad name to social workers. I don't think it does. But also, like, this particular representation, I'm like, this social worker has done how many actual things so far in this season? I think the only time that she really does 100% A game is when the shooting happens.
I think that she seems a lot more suited to being like a grief counselor to me.
Which is funny because I don't think she helps anyone with grief.
Yeah, she's there with Amber's sister.
But also, I've always thought that she looks really awkward in that situation. Like, she looks almost uncomfortable, like she doesn't know what to do with this child. And it's Mel who's the one who brings the teddy bear and stuff. Like, Mel's the one who is actually helpful to this child, I think. But we're already past that, so.
I will say, I wonder why, like, this is going to sound so bitchy, but like, what's the point of having a social worker character in a show if you're not going to put your whole Ussie into it the way you did with everything else? Like, the show itself drops the ball on the role of a social worker and how they should properly function in a hospital setting. To the point that I'm just like, why even have one then? If you're just going to do a bad job of it, why did you include it?
Because sometimes in real life people are bad at their jobs. But no, I get what you're saying. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, it's craziness. But they like go to the area where Piper was waiting, and then they find out Piper left. Pamphlets are on the floor, but she did take the pen. So it's that little sparkle of hope, like maybe, just maybe, that Piper will get whatever help it is she needs. Mac and I, when we were watching this episode, he was like, I wonder how many of these characters are going to come back for season 2. I'm like, well, optimistically, almost none of them should come back. It's an ER. But he's like, yeah, but like maybe like references. And I'm like, yeah, sure, a little reference here or there might be fun. For Piper especially, Piper's like top 5. I want to know what happens to her later on kind of characters.
Am I the only one who wondered why the pamphlets were on the floor? How did they get to the floor?
They were probably tossed to the floor.
Yeah. And so I just thought that was a heavy thing to note and then file away. It's interesting that they were set on the bed and then they're on the floor when Dana is cleaning up.
Yeah, I wonder almost if Laura threw them on the floor or something. Like
Laura realized what they were.
Yeah, it almost makes me wonder if like them trying so hard to help her is going to put her in more danger.
I still don't know 100% what to think, because I have seen a few people who've been like, I don't think this is like sex trafficking. I think this is just like a weird like fetish thing for them. And like, I don't want to say that's true, but also I don't see like 100% proof of like this being trafficking. There are a lot of signs that something's weird. I just hope that, you know, whatever it is that happens to Piper, it's like the good path. Whatever it is that happens to her, nothing bad happens to her. That's my big, what I want.
I hope she gets to meet Olivia Benson and get some help.
Yeah. Because, see, I think if it was some kind of kink thing, like, you would be able to explain that.
You'd be surprised how many people would rather die than explain.
Well, okay, that's fair.
Could I also just mention that you can pick up just a little bit on the fact that Laura seemingly has a little bit of an accent? And so part of me thinks, like, obviously, I mean, as someone who's watched a ton of SVU and stuff like, and true crime and stuff, a lot of people come from different countries and places to try to like build a new life and end up going through trafficking. And then because of like Stockholm syndrome or what have you, become madams instead of prostitutes. And so I almost wonder if like she was a victim at some point. I mean, obviously she would still be, you can be a victim and a perpetrator at the same time, but but like, I noticed that little hint of an accent, and I wondered if that was kind of a thought. Is like maybe, you know,
that's
maybe
a good
that's
point.
how. I mean, and she's pregnant,
right?
Who knows by whom,
right?
So
it's a very interesting situation.
Mm-hmm.
And in a happier note, the Pit Fest patient is seizing. Wait, that's not happy.
Happier.
I love how Santos is the one who gets it. I don't know if Issa Briones ever like said anything about like, oh, Santos was a party girl or whatever, but it's the fact that she instantly clocks it. She's like, oh, you know what? No one ever thinks about replenishing their electrolytes when they're dancing and partying and doing everything. She needs saline.
I also was wondering if that comes from, because Camille was talking about her saying the thing about her being like a gymnast, and if that comes from her background as an athlete, because I know like with like distance running, people are always like, you know, like you got to make sure that you're getting electrolytes, like you're replenishing your salts, like when you're doing these long runs. And so I almost wonder if maybe it's not partying at all. It's just like a transferable life experience.
Well, she does mention having a friend that went through the same thing.
That is true.
So yeah, so basically she says, you know, you're out, you're dancing, you're sweating, you drink a bunch of water to stay hydrated, but nobody ever really thinks, like your lay person doesn't think like, I need salt though.
Right.
Which I'm sure, I mean, people out there with pots are like, I know I need salt. By the way, if you work in food service and someone ever asks you for salt packets and water, even if it's against policy to give out free water, just fucking do it, please. It's a medical thing. They need that. So, you know. Langdon comes in. So Santos is like, we need to get saline. And so they order saline. Saline comes in.
All of this before the patient's like test results come back to confirm 100%. But Santos is going off of instinct at this point, going off experience. And it was the right choice to make, all in all. Like, you know, it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I can't really blame her in this situation because of like time was of the essence, but at the same time, like, yes, I can. She's still being insubordinate instead of like, I do side with her a lot more in this moment than I do during the rest of the show. But
yeah, I mean, I always apologize for Santos's actions, and I think, yes, you know, she needed to be doing this under the watchful gaze of someone superior to her, but also saline feels like kind of an innocuous thing. Yeah, I'm like,
it's just salt water.
What kind of condition could this girl have had that would have been worsened by saline? You know, like
very few things I think would have been worsened by saline. And I think also to make it worse, you need to give them a shit ton of saline.
But I'm no doctor.
Yeah,
but I'm no doctor. So Langdon comes in. He's pissed that no one came to get him. Santos takes the fall, which she shouldn't have. I think she takes the fall because she sort of already knows that she's already on his shit list, and he's just like, one more thing to add on the pile. I don't care.
There's very much a trend with Santos of like trying to protect other women from men. Like it almost makes me feel like she sees Langdon at least a little bit as a threat, and that she's trying to protect Mohan.
That's fair. I haven't really thought about it that way, because I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, we have been seizing for a hot minute. Why didn't anyone say, go get Langdon?
Right.
Why did no one go get him?
A good question that we don't get an answer to.
Like, hello, Mohan is not a senior resident.
Right.
Santos is an intern. Like, you need all these other situations. Someone is always saying, go get Robby and the senior.
Right.
And no one says that this time. He just happens to notice that something is going on because he's across the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy that they didn't go get him. But I don't like that Santos takes the fall for this, simply because I'm just like, you're continuing your track record of like lying and being dishonest and not. And everybody around her is like, why is she doing this? They're all making faces at each other, and like Princess and Mohan, they're all just kind of like, what the hell is going on here? What just happened? Why is she lying about this?
Yeah.
I think it's very sort of set in stone. It's like you take responsibility for what like actually happened, and like Santos is just taking responsibility for something that didn't really happen, ?
It could be a situation in which like Santos is like, I can handle his anger and I don't want to put that on someone else.
We get Langdon given this fucking like villain ass monologue.
Villain?
Like,
no.
I think it's listen, like
it's not great, Camille.
The context of trying to be like, Santos, you need to like know where you are in your like road to being a doctor right now. The way he says his shit, it's very fucking villain monologue.
I disagree, because when I watched it, I was literally sitting on my couch going, yes, tell her.
Twirling your hair, kicking your feet in the air. That's what you were doing?
Now, you shouldn't yell at people like that. Like, that's unacceptable. However, what he was saying, and this is the problem. This is the problem that I had, because I wanted him to say all of that, not in that way.
Yeah.
I wanted him to say it earlier on. I wanted him to be more professional and legitimate about it, because everything that he says is so valid.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
I don't think you can take issue with what he said.
No, he is making valid points, but it makes me kind of uncomfortable, like watching him yell at her like that. And then also, I feel like looking at Santos's face, she looks to me like someone who is scared of him in this moment, but is trying not to show it. And perhaps that is me reading into it, and perhaps that is me, you know, the Santos apologist coming out, but like I feel sorry for her in this
Men yelling
confrontation,
terrifying.
despite the fact that he is making correct points. It's like, because of the yelling, it's just, I don't know, he's not being a great teacher.
Men yelling terrifying. I will say it's always kind of a funny moment for me when Robby like pops up behind him while he's giving this like villain-esque monologue, and he's like, Dr. Langdon. And everyone stops, and there's just such an aura of, oh shit, you're in trouble.
You've done it now. Daddy's here to punish you.
But I just want to say, like, I agree to an extent, okay, because I don't think she's scared of Langdon. I think I see a person having a trauma response.
Yeah.
She's trying to continue the eye contact. However, I will say, as an abuse survivor, the eye contact in this scene is very unsettling to me. It makes me want to run and hide. Eye contact is a big thing that my abuser did, and it terrified me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that direct confrontation with that strict eye contact.
I think that she is someone who has had negative experiences with men and is being reminded of that in this moment. Like, he is acting like men that she has had very negative experiences with.
Yes.
Who amongst us has ever had a negative experience with a man? I mean, men, am I right?
But yeah, it's so complex to me, because I see, again, like, I want to stress, I'm an abuse survivor. I suffered abuse for 16 years from a narcissist, and I got screamed at, I got hit, I've been through it, and so I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to defend something like that. Like, I am a highly sensitive person, and so for me, there are, like, don't raise your voice at me, I will cry. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it's a TV show. That's one of those moments where I can just be like, I don't like this character, thank God they're getting yelled at. Not because, like, it's a woman. If it were Whittaker fucking up, I'd be like, scream at Whittaker, you know? Like, it's a character I don't like, so I'm glad to see them being, like, knocked out. Knocked out a peg.
And then the other thing is when Robby pulls Langdon out to yell at him and is like, first, like, Langdon is trying to like defend himself, and then Robby just eventually blows up and is like, shut the fuck up, and then goes into this spiel about like, where does it say intimidation is a good teaching lesson? I'm like, dude, do you know what you're fucking doing to him?
You literally just screamed at him
to shut the fuck up. Yeah, again, it's valid points where he's like, you've been riding her all day, you've been bugging her, you've been trying to cause shit all day. If she's getting under your skin, take a break, walk off, you know? And this entire time he's saying it, and like Langdon is like cowering, and he, you know, at the end he's like, yeah, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And it's like, dude, you're fucking intimidating him.
We are not breaking the cycle.
No.
Here in the pit.
No.
Because it's like, okay, if Daddy is treating Langdon this way, then Langdon is going to treat his little underlings this way.
we don't need to say Daddy every time we talk about Dr. Robby.
But when we talk about Dr. Abbott, yes, we do.
We cut back to, you know, after this whole mess of a moment, we cut back to Whittaker and Mr. Krakokia. Cocrosia, the Kraken, yeah. And they have this little conversation. I love how Whitaker is like in this whole like decked out in a PPE armor, trying to anticipate like getting pissed on again. And the guy's like, listen, man, hey, I'm sorry. When I'm off my meds, I guess I piss on people. And slowly, metaphorically and physically, like the more Whitaker speaks to him, the more the armor falls away and it's like more sympathy. And it's like, yeah, I imagine the meth isn't helping. It's like, oh, I haven't been using meth for over a year, but I take antipsychotics for the schizophrenia I got from doing meth, which from my understanding is not a thing.
Yeah, that's not a thing. I Googled it because you can ask Mal, I literally paused it and said, is that a thing? I Googled it. It's not, but if it's like underlying, it can trigger it.
Come here.
Oh, we're getting a consult.
In a hospital.
We're getting a consult. Wow.
Beep,
I'm
beep,
getting
beep,
a consult.
beep, 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 beep.
I'm gonna ask my boyfriend live on the feed. Can people develop schizophrenia from doing drugs?
Yes.
Like meth? How so?
It does shit to your brain. You can Google this.
We Googled it and apparently it doesn't.
Well, I know weed can. Weed can lead to psychosis. I don't know if it can lead to psychosis. Okay, here's the thing. Are you asking me, can it make you develop specifically schizophrenia? Or are you asking me, can it make you develop things that are schizophrenia-like?
Schizophrenia specifically.
Schizophrenia specifically,
Most likely, no.
Okay.
Can it lead to symptoms and things that mimic schizophrenia and that most people who are not familiar with the actual disease of schizophrenia would label as schizophrenia? Yes.
Okay.
Can we also confirm that if you have schizophrenia that has not like presented itself, it could be triggered by meth?
It can lead to the onset of schizophrenia, especially because for most people, the onset of schizophrenia is going to be sometime in their 20s.
Right.
Usually it's the early to mid 20s as to when like your psychotic break, for lack of probably better terms, happens, which can also be the same time that people are starting to experiment with drugs.
So it's more...
So could it be, did X cause Y, or was it just, complete fucking coincidence?
Good to know. Thank you for the consultation. Oh, well, continue talking.
People who have schizophrenia taking drugs can exacerbate the symptoms.
Thank you for the consult.
Thank you, Mac.
Everyone, round of applause.
Oh.
And now he's going to take the cat and go cuddle on the couch, I presume.
We got to get Mac on for real.
So, yeah, he's unhoused. He doesn't have medication. And that's just, his whole story right now.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of unhoused people don't get healthcare other than through the emergency room. There is no way for you to just like go and get medical care. You have to present, your ID and your insurance card and all that kind of stuff, pay your copay at an urgent care. And so an emergency room, you come in via ambulance, there ain't no checking that. Like they're going to start taking care of you,
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully. I know there are some hospitals because of how they're owned and operated.
Also, I think some of the funding to compensate for like taking care of unhoused people comes from like Medicare, Medicare, right? Am I correct? Which has been cut.
So Mel is in the break room with Crosby.
That's where I would be. If there was a dog, I would be there with the dog.
Yeah. So Langdon comes in and asks how his least problematic trainee.
Am I really? And it's like, actually, you're all pretty in the green, but like I grew an attachment to you.
Yeah. And I love this conversation. It means so much to me as a highly sensitive person because I think that Mel is. And I want to say HSP, highly sensitive person, is a personality trait. And I looked it up. It's characterized by increased awareness and responsiveness to stimuli. So for me, like loud sounds, loud music, like when I was going to prom, I stood outside the door for a full 10 minutes because the music was so loud inside that I was scared to go in. It was like bringing tears to my eyes. So that's like a processing problem that I have because I'm a highly sensitive person. And so I am in tune with emotions and feelings. And a lot of people love to say, don't take it personally, or you're too sensitive. And my responses, as I've, gone through adulthood, have become the opposite of being sensitive is being insensitive. So I'm not going to do that. And I am going to take it personally because I'm a person. So everything is personal.
Right.
So I understand what people are trying to get at, but I think that they use it as a get out of jail free card. Like they'll say something super insulting about you and they'll be like, oh, but don't take it personally. And I'm like, fuck you. I will, but thanks. And so to hear, I try to remind myself when I'm having a very sensitive moment, like I did earlier, letting go of my foster kittens, or when I witness something out in public and I have to come home and cry about it because it just like was overwhelming for me emotionally. I have to remind myself that like the world needs really sensitive people and it really sucks to be one of them, but we have to have them. Like
Because
society.
so many people don't give a shit about other people at all. So
Yeah.
Pretty much verbatim what like Langdon says to Mel, where he's like, you know, you're very sensitive. I imagine you've had many instances where you're like, I just want to quit and leave this whole scenario, but we need sensitive people like you to make this job like more human, essentially.
we sure do.
Yeah. And I think that everybody loves to hear something positive about themselves.
I don't. If you say something nice about me, I will hate it.
Hey, Robert, I think you're really cool and really funny, and I really cherish your friendship.
Hey, so we're reaching the best part of the episode, aka Giovanni trying to ask Mateo out in front
God.
of Earl.
Earl's face during this whole interaction kills me.
Yeah.
He's watching a tennis match for sure.
Yeah, it's not good. Oh my god, it's so cringe. Literally, that's
would
the
you like to get
terminology.
coffee sometime, just to show me how the hospital works? Oh, I don't date people from work. Oh, well, I'll figure things out on my own. Okay,
Girl, you already struck out. Just stop talking. You're making it worse.
It's so classically rom-com. I really do love this scene. I love this scene. I don't even feel awkward watching it. I just feel giddy. It's so cute.
It is cute. Like she's just a little girl with a crush.
I love that he's gentle with her.
Mm-hmm.
He's very kind to her. Well, okay, so Mateo is mentioning that like he doesn't date at work.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't date people in the workplace. You have to keep in mind that Giovanni's parents both work at the same hospital. So like that doesn't cross her mind. She didn't think about that.
That's very true. Did they meet at the hospital or did they just get jobs there together?
I don't know.
I feel like it goes past dating if you're married at that point with a child working in the same hospital. Like at that point, you're
don't date your coworkers, marry them.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But how can you marry your coworkers if you don't date them first? Is the thing.
Shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
Want to get married?
For sure. Yeah.
And to draw back to what the episode is called, when Dana eventually pulls her away and Giovanni is like, she's recounting this trip she had to Utah, and she's like, oh, we went to a ski resort and it was like I couldn't breathe the entire time. I was so, this and that. Mateo, he's like my Utah, and Dana just breaks down laughing.
And Dana tells her she wishes her many, many Utahs in her life.
Yes. And I love that Mateo clearly either can hear this or is still aware of them. You can tell that he thinks she's cute because he's looking out the window at them when they walk past. Like, the boy isn't saying no because he wants to say no. He's just trying to keep his rules. But I love the performance of the monologue of Utah.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, I'm a great skier. With her finger up in the air, like, I'm a great skier. But I just sat on my butt the whole time. It's so good. It's so good. Wow.
And I wish many, many Utahs for all of us.
I also love how much Dana takes care of her in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't laugh at her. She's laughing with her about just like, oh, girl.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
We've all been there. Attractive men at the workplace.
None of those in the pit. So the car crash patient comes back. Collins and McKay are working together now with her. She's got, I think, a broken sternum is what they say.
Yeah.
Or clavicle or sternum.
I think it's sternum.
Sternum. We're going to bring Crosby out as an emotional support animal. Again, as someone who doesn't like dogs very much, I don't like when people have their dogs with them everywhere. Like when I got into TJ Maxx and there's a dog in a shopping cart, it makes me mad. When people go to the liquor store and they bring their dogs with them on leashes, I hate it.
You just want to like kick over the cart and be like, get out of there. That's for the alcohol.
I have nothing.
Your dog is taking up space that perfectly good alcohol could be occupying.
The only black dog I like is Taylor Swift Bar. But I'm not a big fan of like dogs in public places that like I can't take my cat there. Why are you taking your dog?
Oh, so it's all jealousy.
No,
it's all jealousy. No. The truth is coming out.
No, because I would never want to take my cats out into public with me because I know they would hate it, right? I want them to be home where they're happy and safe. And I don't want to cause them anxiety. But I also am just like, you can't leave your dog alone for 5 minutes to run an errand?
The only dogs that I mind are the ones that are very poorly trained. Like if you bring a bad dog out into public, like not that a dog is bad, all dogs are good dogs, but like you bring a naughty dog, a mischievous dog out in public, dogs are incapable of evil, but they are capable of mischief.
It's definitely something that I haven't seen. I only heard stories of, but like those people who are like, oh, this is my service dog. And it's just like their little ratty chihuahua that they put a service dog.
Okay, no, chihuahuas are capable of evil. That's the one dog.
So Doug is now in chairs, pounding on the glass, demanding attention. He's pissed that he hasn't been seen yet. I hate that he mentions the fact that the glass is bulletproof.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that feels...
let's not mention that. Let's not, because now
aggressive.
I'm uncomfortable.
I am glad that the glass is bulletproof, like just for the safety of, because considering how many people we've already seen get violent, I'm sure it is not out of the question that they sometimes have people come into chairs with weapons. Yeah, not great.
Dana comes out to handle him, but you can also see, if you watch the background of like where the admissions people are, if you watch the background, you can see Langdon coming to see what's going on. So Dana comes out to handle him. They present him with a form stating that he's leaving against medical advice, even though
the cover your ass form.
The CYA form.
You're just giving this so you can cover your ass. That's exactly what it is, Langdon says.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I love that. I love that moment. I love finally seeing everybody stand up to him, because everybody's just been taking shit from him all season. Because he
sucks.
Yeah, so. Car crash Paula is crashing. Again, crashing. Crash, crash, crash. Say crash.
A lot of crashes for her today.
Yeah.
Santos and Mohan are discussing the Langdon crash out.
Lots of crashes. Crash, crash, crash.
So they're discussing his crash out. Mohan is pointing out that like was entirely unacceptable for him to act that way, which is true. It's very valid. Yes, absolutely. It was inappropriate. And then we go back to Whitaker and the Kraken, and honestly, like, they've been talking for a while now.
Yeah.
Like, god damn.
This has been a very long conversation.
Been, like, 10 minutes or something?
But I also think this is good, because I think we have done a lot of, like, dehumanizing of the Kraken. Unhoused. You know, just, I mean, unhoused people in general, but, like, this man specifically, because just from the very beginning, like, calling him the Kraken, and, like, no one wants to be around him, like... They really just want to kind of get rid of him, but they can't. And so just, I don't know. It's like getting to see the human side of him, I feel like is important. And understanding that like, this is a guy who has a lot of shit going on. Like he's really in a not so great situation. And like, just, I don't know. I appreciate seeing him as a person.
Yeah. I like that in this conversation, we're working out like a med plan, a treatment plan for him, how to get him his medication on time. And Kiara says, what if he doesn't have to come back? And Whitaker's like, oh no, he definitely has to come back, because if he doesn't, he pees.
Go piss, girl. That's what I have to say.
So we are back with Paula again, and I did Google it. Endometritis is the most common cause of infection after childbirth. It's an inflammation of the uterine lining that causes infection.
Makes sense.
I like, and this is what we find that she has had, but I like that Collins very, very carefully and tactfully brings up to McKay, like, hey, I think you may have had some preconceived notions about this woman because of her weight.
Yeah.
And I think you may not have treated her as well as you could have.
Yeah, and the way that she says, I raise this as a possibility, not as an accusation, like, I think that's very important, because, like, accusing her of this doesn't help for the next time. But to be like, hey, thinking about it this way, like, is it possible that this happened? So then she can kind of examine her own biases and decide whether or not that is a thing that happened, and then she can look out for it the next time. Like, I just... Yeah, I think she handles this very well.
I think that McKay also demonstrates for us here a great student. Because she goes, whoa, you think this? Like, she's kind of offended, but she's like, I mean, I don't think so, but okay, I'll take that under advisement. Like, she communicates so well. She doesn't agree and she doesn't see it that way, but she will take it under advisement, and she's like, oh, whoa, okay, like, I don't think so, but sure, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, there are so many ways that like prejudice sneaks up in like, because our society is so built on like fat phobia and racism and like all these things. And there's so many things like you don't even realize is harmful to someone. And it may have just been that McKay saw this woman as a quick, like, treat him and eat him. And she was like, it's a UTI, easy peasy, bye.
Yeah. We just watched the docuseries on The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
So we've definitely been, learning about fat phobia and the way culture treats, people with weight problems or obesity or just larger people,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, it's wild how just prevalent it is in our culture. Like I spent most of my teenage years like dieting and trying to lose weight. And I've never even been like officially quote unquote plus size. Like I've always been sort of mid-size. And so it's just, but like I definitely have had doctors suggest that things are because of my weight. And so, I appreciate this being presented as like this may have happened because of this.
Yeah.
Maybe check yourself next time.
There are definitely a lot of like horror stories of like, particularly women who are like, again, like not like obese or very heavy, but like immediately they just get, thrown away of like, just lose some weight, you'll be fine. And a lot of women who are like, actually, I didn't really need to lose weight. I needed like a new kidney or something.
Emergency surgery. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Women are typically seen as hysterical and, it's probably just period pain. Whitaker is feeling really good about himself right now. He's had a good interaction with the Kraken. He's been flirted with. He's vibing. And then Crosby comes running out. Crosby is obviously one of the patients on all fours. Can you just imagine? On all fours, a patient running through the ER. I want to see that in season 2.
Oh, gosh.
So Crosby the dog comes running out. Well, he comes out, he escapes, and then gets the rat. And so now Crosby's going to need like rabies and all that kind of stuff, like a rabies shot and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to have to be careful about that. But then Whitaker grabs a blanket, throws it over the rat, grabs the rat.
Snaps its neck.
I plugged my ears. I do every time because that was disgusting to me. So unnecessary.
It's wild how quick he does it too. He's just like, done. I wonder how many rats he's had to kill like in the barn, in the farm.
Whitaker is the barn cat.
I love how everyone like stops and claps and are like, woo, yeah, Whitaker. It's like, he just snapped the rat's neck, dude. Like,
yeah. I think Langdon is actually only clapping because Myrna was harassing him. If you notice, Myrna is like up in Langdon's business. When this scene
good old
happens.
Myrna.
So,
do you think Whitaker's parents were mad that he wanted to leave the farm to become a doctor? Because they were like, no, we need you to kill these rats.
They're like, he's a little fishy. Don't go. We'll give you treats. I really hate this. I hate the sound of the bone snapping. Like, it just felt unnecessary to me. Again, like, as a highly sensitive person, it makes me like...
Do you hate this more than, like, the medical stuff?
Yeah.
That happens in the show? Oh, that's interesting.
The medical stuff is, like, to help people. He just killed a living thing.
Okay.
I don't like it. See, that's my highly sensitive...
I think if I had to see the rat, like, in his hands, it's good for me that he covers it with a blanket, because then I'm just like, I don't have to think about it. But, yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Well...
Perhaps I'm a bad person.
So everyone is celebrating, giving him kudos. Even Robby's like, nice job. And then we cut outside because Dana is having a smoke break and a knuckle sandwich. Sorry.
Yeah. And our dude, Doug Driscoll, I hate the way he's like, oh, working hard, aren't you? Like, as if people aren't allowed to take breaks at their job. Like, sir, calm down. But then she gets, punched. And one thing that's interesting to me about this scene is that we don't ever actually see his face, but we all know who this is. Like, there is no doubt who just punched her. And he also, like, as she's laying on the ground, he throws the CYA form at her and is like, I'm going to take my chances, and leaves. So, screw you, Doug Driscoll. We hate you.
Exactly that. I Googled it. Take a shot every time I say, I Googled it, and...
We do a lot of Googling. Fun fact.
I Googled it, and on average in the US, 2 nurses are assaulted every hour.
Whew. That's not great.
It's so weird to think that the entire time this episode has been recorded, hell, even for you listening at home, roughly 2 or 3 nurses have been assaulted. That's crazy.
I don't know. I think it's professions like nursing and teaching, which are seen as like quote unquote women's professions, you know, and thus receive less respect than male dominated professions. It is interesting how often people in those jobs are assaulted. Like teachers are assaulted every day by students, sometimes by parents. Nurses are assaulted by patients. And no one really seems to care, which is crazy.
Yeah. So we'll come back to deal with the aftermath.
What a time.
Rootin' tootin'. Anybody got a good joke to send us off on?
No, we need the MRI tech guy from the next episode to come give us a silly little joke.
Dr. Mehta.
What do you call a pile of cats? A meownton. I thought Camille would like that one.
She did. She loved it. Speaking of kitty cats, here comes mine. Hi, sweet baby girl. Well, if that's all we've got this week, anybody got anything else?
No.
All right. Well, so long, fellow losers.
The Pit Crew podcast is created and produced by us, Robert, Mal, and Camille. It is edited by Robert. You can find us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at Pit Crew Podcasts. If you'd like to support our other projects, our socials are linked in the show notes. Our art is by Rand Pacoca, and he can be found on Instagram at Rand Pacoca. All patient questions and concerns can be emailed to pitcrewpodcast@gmail.com. And this isn't a Taco Bell, but we do appreciate a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to schedule a follow-up appointment with a nurse before you go. See you next time.